Hi guys, sorry, Natasha with Natasha's Scrapbook Corner, and today I'm coming to you with my Shabby layout, and I am going to enter with this layout to two challenges going on. One is Sa's DT call, and I will show you how I'm entering this. Another one is Shabby layout for Shilpa, and the chance to win her gorgeous dress form. So while I will be talking, somewhere online there would be the cuts and inserts with the pictures that I shoot along the way while I was working, and I was shooting the pictures with the prep step on what is going on in this 8x8 layout. The base of the layout is hand peeled regular corrugated paper that was distressed, and I used Sa's stencil from Sa stores. I purchased several of those. One the diamond and one is like honeycombing. I did the stenciling with this brick mask, and it looks like this. I was using mixative of the flexible modeling paste, and I add a little bit of French vanilla acrylic paint, and that's what I started with. Then I decided that it needs to have some intensity color, and I used the Sutenko Java Walnut ink, and I used one of the Prima stencils, Prima mask, and I used that one. So I sprayed with a mask through on a chipboard, and you will see it on the picture that I'm gonna be including. But then when I was done with it, first of all, the color of my brick wall faded away underneath of that walnut spray. It wasn't as bright and colorful. I decided to whitewash it, and I used the Lindy Stem Gang Ghosty Gargoyle White here. And then I decided to use some stain picket fence, and I still wasn't really happy with the result, but it gives that kind of border dimension, and I wanted it to look more, I wanted that corrugated paper comes up, and the only thing I wish I didn't use the walnut stain, and I wish I left the corrugated paper natural color with the texture and everything. So nonetheless, that's doesn't take away from the layout. And the next layer was this purple or lavender like paper, and you have just a smidge of it seen in here and in there, and I backed it up with my lace from my store, which looks like this. That is the most popular lace. And I stitched along the edge, if you'll see, all the way around, and distressed the edges. And added some stenciling on it, but it's hidden underneath of everything. But I used the same brick stencil, and I love it. Reverse brick, absolutely wonderful mask. Then the next layer was punched out of this gorgeous paper. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to, I added some lace in here, right in there. And that is the lace from Miss Garden Grove web store. Love it. So that was the lavender layer. The next layer, and again, I'm going to be inserting the pictures. The next layer was this cherry blossom paper. Oh, the papers are the Graphic 45 Secret Garden collection. I forgot to mention that. So I punched it with the Martha Stewart punches all the way around, and I used the pop-up dots to separate the lavender layer from that punched. Here you can probably see better. You see the layer of lace, you see the lavender paper distressed, you see the brick going, the brick technique going on, and the layer of the sponged paper. The next layer was this Secret Garden, I do believe that paper calls, with this little girl and the bouquet. And again, I stitched all across. I distressed the edges, and in some of the spaces where distressing went way above, you know, sometimes it happens, I added this recollection lace, so it's going in here and right a little bit in there. So, and the lace, the collection looks like this. So I used that top one with a fringe kind of look. Okay, and so I do believe I mentioned that I stitched across, all the way across, and I wanted to bring attention to that girl, and I do not have any windows for some reason, and Sa has it all in her store, but I didn't purchase it. So, but I purchased the wood door, and I would have used a wood door if it would be a 12 by 12 layout, but because it's 8 by 8, I couldn't fit the door. It wouldn't look properly in here. So what I did, I snipped the door in the spots with my Tim Holtz scissors, and then went with a sanding block on the edge so they wouldn't be rough. You see how that finish is rough because I didn't sand it in here. So that way it created the look of the window. Okay, but for this layer I did some more things than just distressing and adding a lace and stitching. I used again Prima mask, and that's this one. So I used my antique linen. I put my stencil on top of the paper and layered the mask on top, and I went with my sponge tool with antique linen, and because it's so soft vintage, it didn't ruin, you know, the effect, you know, it didn't take away from the paper. But what it did, it highlighted the area with the branch and the birds in there. And on top of that, to highlight it and pop it up out of the pretty much matching paper, I used my marker, you know, any brown marker, and I just went around the image and traced it. So there is that branch going on in there. So I adhere the frame with glossy accents, and for the bottom of the window I used that Annie's lace from her online shop, and this is the lace from my store. And on top I used that another recollection trim, and unfortunately it's hidden underneath this pom-pom, this second one right in there. So, and if you will pay close attention, I put my trim from my store, this one, underneath as a window treatment. So it looks like either she is inside the house with a garden, or we are inside the house looking in the garden. But that wasn't satisfaction for me, and there should be a pocket somewhere in there. And I was thinking, that's for Shilpa's challenge, there should be a pocket. So what I did, when I was done with placing the window on that piece of paper, when I was trying to mount that layer on this layer of paper, I said that maybe I shouldn't glue it all the way down, and I adhered it just in the corners, in 4 corners, which made me a sliding pocket for my cards. And yeah, that's the cards. Okay, so they are inserts, you know, in between these 2 layers and in between these 2 layers. And I didn't want this entry being too confusing, so I used one of the paper doilies and cut it in half and used 1/2 in here, so it will be like a little welcoming mat for the tags, so it wouldn't be so confusing. It's so much easy to put your tags in. Then here I could not put the doily because it does not correspond properly with the layout. I used the second doily on that end, and I just tucked it underneath of the paper. And then it wasn't enough because it didn't look right, and I did cut off another piece of paper. Oops, it's not going properly. Don't do it. So another piece of purple paper, about 4x4. I layered it, distressed on the edges, stitched on the edges, put the brick mask on it. Actually, I was thinking to use this one in this corner and to do the same opening, but then I backed up. That's why you see that prep job, and at least I can show you how the brick mask looks. So it's really cool. So anyhow, I got to this corner, so I created that rolled open look, kind of like a popping out garden out of the pocket or whatever, out of the corner. Actually, I was thinking that that brick mask would say this is the corner of the building, and that pops up, from the building. And I used it, a little bit mask of here, and I added a little bit of texture with this mask in here on the bottom. So I adhered that opening and started just playing with the flowers, filling it up. Oh no, before that, you cannot really see what's left, but it has a corset threading, and if you will pull some flowers you will see the threads, but it's really hard. So I kind of did the cross stitching of corset in between, but it's got filled with the flowers. And the flowers that I used in here are, this is my rosebuds that I was offering in one of my YouTube sales, and I still have them, but they're not going to be placed in a store because I'm going on vacation, and there is no need to fill up the store before going on vacation, right? So those rosebuds going to be available when I will be back. It's in the fall. Then I used some wild orchid crafts flowers. That's them. Love it. By the way, they still have 50% off. Go ahead and buy yourself some supplies while they last. So in this ones, okay, so I filled it up with the rose, and this orange one is just fabulous flowers from my store. And here's this wild orchid craft and the fabulous orange flowers from my store. Yeah, oh, here I placed one of the recollection buttons. Love those little bitty things. They're absolutely adorable. The one with the butterfly, because it needed some butterflies. And then I decided there should be a word. And I'm so bad about, I think it's the lack of language and putting the phrases together, so I cannot just come up with a good line of the words like life is impressive, or I don't know, it always sounds awkward to me. So I'm trying to use stencils or stickers with the sayings. In this case, I used, because Sa carries a lot of variety of the words and the sprays, the flourishes out of the wood, and unfortunately I didn't get those, but similar product that I purchased at the Michaels somewhere on the line, it's Art Minds Words, And out of this pack, I used the Inspire, and still has Family and Love. So, but Sa has also smallest sizes, so it's really, you know, versatile of her products that she carries in a store. And as she said, you know, she keeps the prices the lowest she possibly can. So yay. I know I have a store, so it's very complex thing. But anyhow, enough of rambling. So I got this word Inspire, and what I did, I used the same mask technique to bring it all together, because the top layers, I do believe, supposed to correspond with the bottom layer, to blend it in together. Like in here, you would use the mask not just on this layer, but it should go out and grab surrounding. As Linda would say, it should be anchored. Right, Linda? Anyhow, it should be anchored, and it should has some correspondence with the style and everything. So I did this brick technique on the letters on the wood, and I distressed it with again using my antique linen distress inks just on the edges to give that kind of worn look, a little bit dirty, like stressed. Okay, and this came up to me, and I was very happy with this decision. Do you know that Sa has this buckles and different sizes of the flat back pearls? She carries different variety at her store, you know, smaller buckles and stuff like that. So I love to use it as centers, but then I actually wanted to use the clock, and she has the clock in her store, but unfortunately I do not have a clock. But I wanted something round, you know, in my layout. Shabby layout shouldn't be square, you know, something should be rounded, but everything in this layout is square, 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 and straight and cut and this and that. So I needed something to smooth it down, and I created this half circle of the flat back pearls on the buckles. I just adhere them here and there, and they gave this roundness. I do believe they did the job, and they did what I intended them to do. So I'm really pleased with that decision. So yes, that's I guess that's it. I guess that's all my things that I wanted to say about this layout. I think I showed you all the products that I use. I'm trying to keep them, you know, next to me. Now, you know, I usually I'm putting everything away right away because I do not like mess. But yeah, that's probably it. And I will include the pictures after the you know, after this video. And Sa and Shilpa, I hope you girls like it. Sa, I try to incorporate and show you what I can do with your products for your DT call. And Shilpa, I tried to keep it in a shabby style for you, with lots of flowers and colors, and pockets, and 8x8 size, and it's going your way. So please leave me a comment, and if you see any mistakes or any suggestions, I'm always welcome. You know, any sort of encouragement or suggestions to improve my, you know, my work, my style, and learning day by day, watching YouTube and following the tutorials, and absolute having a ball. So thank you so much for sticking by and leaving your sweet comments. Enter the challenges. You still have a few days, you know. For Sa, you have a few days, and for Shilpa's challenge, you still have quite a bit of time. So it's fun. So again, thanks for watching. Sorry for rambling. Stay tuned for the pictures.